Hello everyone. Hi guys, welcome back to another live stream. Hi Varun, hi Mahin, hi Vaibhav. Just let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me and see the screen as well. Okay, all good to start then. Okay, first question I see Marshall's fitness. As far as Ole mentioned that he's gonna give rest to Marshall before training yesterday, so it depends on how he reacts to the training today. Or so provided yesterday. He said that on Thursday. So it depends on late call. To be honest, I feel like he'll not be playing the Liverpool game. Might miss on or come on as a sub, and could be starting for the Fulham game. That's what I get and make out of it. But yeah, I'm gonna make my transfers. Don't worry, I have just set it up only for fun. Yesterday night, I knew Sun is gonna drop in price, and his selling price would irrespectively have been the same for me. So I just thought that we'll make the move on the stream. Should I remove Bamford from the 11 and bring Callum Robinson? No, I think Bamford is much better player. Will get more chances. Also, first thing I want to address before we go into the stream that a lot of people are overlooking at single game week players. Players like Bamford, maybe for someone like a Wood, players like Sun. These players can still get double digit hauls and still outscore your double game week players. So don't ever neglect the single game week players, especially players like Bamford who have an easy fixture against Brighton. I feel like if you have Bamford, you ought to play him. Calvert Lewin replacements have posted it a couple of times. If you don't have Bamford, go for him. Antonio is next. Then I think Wood is the best option. Having double city defense and De Bruyne is perfectly fine if everyone has that. It is perfectly the go-to option at the moment. Me or Wilson, who to put in the 11? I think Wilson. Triple captaincy, we'll discuss it in a while. Sun to Sterling differential. For me, who should play both games? No, I think I'm going to stick with Son to De Bruyne, and it's only because of my captaincy. I think he's one of the safest captaincy picked this week, and I think I'm going to stick to it. Yes, Dion, I remember you telling me to triple captain Antonio last week against last season against Norwich. We didn't, but I think the problem with Antonio this game week could be where he hasn't found his form back. I mean, I know he's going to start both games in my opinion, but the problem will be his form. So can't really neglect the fact that he's not going to be in form. I wouldn't triple captain Antonio. Definitely would bring him, not triple captain him. If you want captaincy options other than these three, then probably go to Vardy or Werner, in my opinion. Apart from that, I don't think you should captain anybody else. You can look at the likes of Cancelo, but if you have good captaincy options in your team, such as Kevin De Bruyne or Salah, I don't see the reason to go to a defender for captaincy. News on Leeds versus Southampton game will not be coming in. It depends on a late COVID test for Shrewsbury. So it depends on that. If they have a lot of positive players again, uh, tested positive, then the game won't go on. And Hasselati did mention in his press conference that they have to be prepared for the Leeds game as well. Entirely depends on a COVID result, so can't really do much about it. Okay, should I bench boost? This is a very common question. I'll address it right start of the stream. How many double game week players should you have enough to bench boost? I think if you have about 10 players playing a double game week who have two fixtures, and the rest 5 players have a single game week, I think it's very fine enough to play your bench boost this week if you have been planning for it. You don't have to forcefully play your bench boost or don't have to play your triple captain this week. I am not playing any chips, it's not necessary. But if you have an option of having 10 double game week players and 5 single game week players, I think it is a very good opportunity to bench boost because it could turn out in your favor as well. The Southampton Leeds game could go ahead, and it's not like Leeds have a very easy, tough fixture. They have Brighton, which is somewhat an easy fixture on paper at least. So if you have 10 double game week players, that is the margin I'm creating for bench boost. So I think that answers most of the questions. If you have 10 double game week players and 5 single game week players, you probably can bench boost. Up provided that those players are not someone like Bissouma or Anguissa who will not, or Brewster who will not give you points at all. Mitchell I think is still fine because he's still I know it's City but he still provided you 2 points and you never know which Crystal Palace turn up. But I think apart from that, if you have a decent bench, someone like in Cavalier or someone like up top maybe Adams or Rafina, you maybe ought to play your bench boost. One essential thing I really like to bench whenever I bench boost is I have a second keeper. I think a second keeper is very important to bench boost. Foden for Neto, I think Foden for Neto is a decent option. Foden might not play both the games, but I think Neto might not start as well this week because of his late fitness test. I think the knock was really heavy. He was sitting outside in that particular last match against Everton as well for 5 minutes. So I think there's a chance that Neto might not start. Maybe fair enough if you take your chances on Foden. Remove Adams for Antonio for -8. I think, okay, we address this as well. How many hits should we take this week and is it okay? I think I would put the line at -8. I think anything beyond -8, unless your bench boosting is maybe -12, but apart from that, -16, -20, anything I would not do. And if you're not bench boosting, I don't think I would not even take -12. -8 at max if you bring in a double game week player, only because even if he starts both the games and gets 2 points at least, I think your hit is recovered. So on the long term, players like Antonio who have a decent fixture, or Kevin De Bruyne or City guys, I think you need to look at their fixtures after double game week as well, because that is when the hit will be paid off. So if the fixtures are nice, probably take the hit. Focus on West Ham attack or defense. I think attack more than defense, because I think Burnley will score. In the West Brom game, it's going to be an irritating 0-0 or 1-1-0 for West Ham. Hi Raichen from Bhutan. Um, Weber says sell Anguissa, Kane, Wilson, who to get apart from Salah, Antonio Woods, McGoldrick, or keep Wilson and get Magrid. I would get an Antonio or Wood for sure and keep Salah as well. I have Wilson and Bamford. Should I go for Bamford then over Wilson? Uh, it depends on you. I mean, the baseline, yes, obviously is higher for Wilson at the moment. If you can get Bamford for fourth defender or fifth midfielder, I would do that. I mean, it depends on your baseline and reading of the game. If you think that Newcastle can score at least a goal, you know that 70% of the goals involvement are through Wilson. So read the game. How do you think Arsenal versus Newcastle and Aston versus Newcastle will be playing out, and take your decision. Southampton double happening is only if Shrewsbury have a lot of positive COVID cases. As Sterling, is it a good choice to keep him? Yes, I think it's a fair enough choice to keep Sterling in your team if you have him. Even Mane, in my opinion, is a very good pick. I think Mane will be a better player than Salah this week. Maybe that's possible. Unless Salah gets penalties, I think on paper, without penalties or non-penalty XG, Mane will be ahead. Yes, Big Man is on triple captain. We discussed it in the morning, and I think he's pretty much he was pretty much undecisive, and then I think he's decided recently to go on triple captain. As far as I know, Zoffer is also on triple captain Salah. Okay, who are my top two or three triple captaincy options? I think for me it's only two triple captain options. It's either De Bruyne or Salah. Whoever you are going to captain, you can triple captain them. There are pros and cons for each. I think the only cons for De Bruyne is that he might get rested, or the Aston Villa game could get postponed. The con for Salah is that he hasn't hit form really. Although he has a lot of rest on his back and he does perform sometimes well in big games, and especially the games are at home. Uh, Pick your captain and then stick to it. I think apart from this, I wouldn't go near Bruno Fernandes at all for triple captaincy or captaincy this week. Even if I know he has a very easy Fulham fixture, and hopefully he gets through and plays that Fulham fixtures, and I would happily take those points, but not triple captain or captain him. Will Giroud play? No. Bring Antonio for Wilson for a -4. 50-50 call, but I would take my chance on Antonio. Dallas and Bamford keeping both in the team. Should I go with it? I think I would bench Dallas if possible or remove him for someone else. I would play Bamford. Should I play Peters or Bamford? I think you would play Bamford. I expect more returns there. Should I triple up on West Ham defenders or keep two and bring Antonio? I would keep two and bring Antonio. Thinking of taking -8 Dallas to Stones and Shea Adams to Antonio. I think it's a fair enough move, especially with the City defender coming in. Vardy and Kane out for -4. I would definitely do that uh, this week. Aditya says play target on for yellow card or Bamford playing in. I think I would play Bamford, irrespective of target being. I think the only possibility of him getting a clean sheet is maybe in the Newcastle game. But I would take my chance on Bamford because he's a much more higher ceiling in this particular game week. And if by chance the Southampton Leeds game goes ahead, then that's a higher ceiling again. That increases the ceiling way too much. Remove Grealish for a hit. I wouldn't remove any of my double game week players for a hit this week, unless it's someone like Wilson to Antonio or someone which is actually an upgrade for a City attacker maybe. But I wouldn't do that for Grealish. Should I buy Foden? Foden is up to you. I know he's going to get most likely he's most likely to get benched in one of the games. I think he's a decent punt to take on, and you probably want to take Foden over the other players. And if you had someone like Neto, someone asked me in the chat before, I think Foden is a decent option this week to go to. Although he has the ceiling, but he also has that risk of getting benched. Benrama, great option for this game. The problem is that Moise might not play Benrama in the starting 11, so I wouldn't go there. Bowen is a decent option, but apart from that, I wouldn't look. Apart from Antonio and Bowen, I would not look to any. And Suchek, I would not look to any other assets attacking wise. My bench is McCarthy, Wilson, Smith Rowe, Mitchell. Should I bench boost it? Totally up to you. I don't see a lot of upside on the bench boost, but it's totally up to you. Not having bench boost, should I get Vardy by selling Suchek and Wilson? I wouldn't do that. It's fair enough to have Suchek and Wilson in your team. Those are double game week players. Have discussed the Marshall and Neto injury in the start of the stream. So if any of you guys have missed it and want to know about it, probably go to the start of the stream. Saiz or Dallas? I would play Saiz. I think that's more clean sheet nailed on than Dallas. And I think someone asked me about should I play Hakim Ziyech or Pulisic? I think both of them are great differentials. Maybe slightly Pulisic over Hakim Ziyech because Pulisic has the goal threat more than the Hakim Ziyech. But I think they're great differentials to pick into your team at this 8 million price bracket. Thoughts on triple captaining Rashford? That's a mega differential triple captain. I'm not sure if I would want to waste my triple captain on a differential player. I think if you want to captain Rashford, that's a good choice in my opinion. But I wouldn't triple captain him. I would always triple captain on a safe player. Foden for Neto, I would do it. Anyone who's willing to switch Neto for Foden, definitely do it. Should I buy Mendy or Martinez in for McCarthy? I would buy Mendy. I think he has the better fixtures. Vardy in Kane out for a -4. Yes. Bring in Kevin De Bruyne for Fernandes for -4 in case Salah will be the captain. I don't see an upside there if you're already captaining Salah. Maybe fun. It depends because if Fernandes goes through that Fulham game, you know he's going to score there because his away record has been great. And Fulham is not that a tough fixture. To be honest, for United. So it could be a case where if he doesn't get a yellow card, he could be crucial in your team. Do I bench boost for a -12 or a -16? Not definitely not for a -16. -12, it depends on how many double game week players are you bringing in. If it's for single game week players, I wouldn't bench boost. I wouldn't take the -8 at all. Guys, we're at 150 watching and just 43 likes, guys. If you haven't smashed the like button, go and smash it. Kevin De Bruyne for Salah. I wouldn't do that. I think Salah is slightly somewhat essential this week, and I would bring both Kevin De Bruyne and Salah if possible. Cavani could be a great differential if you want to, but the fact remains that Cavani will start the game which is against Liverpool. So depends on how you see the game going out. Is there a chance between uh, the Villa and City game to be postponed? Yes, there's obviously a chance. Every game at the moment could be postponed from the Liverpool United game as well because Ings did play with COVID-19 apparently in that game. So although as far as I know, that Liverpool has socially distanced themselves and nobody has tested positive as of now. So as of now, the game is going ahead, but any game could be postponed. So there is no reason why you there's no reason why the Aston Villa City game could not be postponed. Will Johnstone start both games? I think he'll start at least one. Can't be sure of both, but should be starting at least one. Shall I play Dallas or bring in Kufal for a -4? I think bringing in Kufal for -4 has a very good upside. Definitely two clean sheets out there, possibility, and also a chance of an assist. Fabianski and Adams keep them. I think they're fit enough to start. Moyes did say that he's going to take a late fitness test for Fabianski, but I think he's fit enough to start both the games. And Adams is fit as well. Is Suchek captain viable? I'm not really sure if I want to captain a central defensive midfielder. At the end of the day, I know he's getting goals. The teams he's playing against are defensively weak on corners and set pieces, and Suchek is great inside the box and headers. But the fact remains that he's a central defensive midfielder. And do you trust an attacking player, someone like a Salah or a De Bruyne or a Mane more than, less than Suchek? I wouldn't. I would be happy to bring in Suchek. I think he's the best budget midfielder out there at the moment. But I wouldn't captain him and take that risk. Ings replacement, guys. Ings replacement. If you can upgrade to someone like a Werner, do it. I think Werner is a very decent option this week. Cresswell or Kufal? I think Cresswell has the better stats, and I would go to Cresswell. Will Kevin De Bruyne play? Yes, I think a lot of talks, and that's the constant debate going in my mind as well. Whether Kevin De Bruyne will play both the games or not. But I think the dates are where they play City, they play Palace at 17th. On 28th they play Villa, and then 23rd they play FA Cup. So how I see it, it could pan out is whether he plays 60, 70 odd minutes against Palace, he plays the 90 against Villa, and then he's benched for the FA Cup. That's how I see it happening. And then he has a long 6 or 7 day rest period. So I think he can play both the games. I want to take my chance on Kevin De Bruyne. Any news from the Athletic on lineups? No lineup news. As far as I've read about Liverpool, I think Matip will be starting the game over any other defender. So it could be a midfield of Henderson, Thiago, and Wijnaldum, and up top Salah, Mane, Firmino. Artek Fox, yes, you should buy Mendy for Martinez and stop spamming. I think guys, I'm going to read a lot of those chats. Bamford or Saka? I would play Bamford for sure. Should I use my wildcard? Entirely depends on your team, guys. I'm not really confident of wildcard this week because it depends on the strategy. I'm trying to save my wildcard to couple it up with my bench boost chip so that I get maximum points out of it. So if you're something, if you still have your bench boost and want to do that strategy, I wouldn't recommend wildcard this week. Yes, there's another double game week coming up, which is double game week 26. The fixtures possibility have also been released by Ben Curran. I'll be posting it after the game week so that there is not more confusion. And yes, there will be a big enough big double game week for bench boosts. Antonio for Kane, Wilson, Bamford. I would bring in Antonio for Wilson probably, not Kane or Bamford. I think I'm not activating my bench boost. I'm not playing any chips this week. Justin or Kufal? I would play Kufal. I know Justin has a decent chance of starting and keeping clean sheets, but I think the Chelsea fixture puts me off. Bench Bamford for Suchek. Yeah, I would actually play Suchek over Bamford. Barnes Madison for a -4. I would bring in Barnes for the upside. If you fancy Madison, you can bring him, but I'm not a Madison pro guy, so I don't really fancy him at all. Watkins is Antonio. I've posted a very good number stat at the buy hold sell post between Watkins, Antonio, and Wood. So you could probably check that, and I think Antonio stands out, and then Wood and Watkins respectively. I think we will have to turn on the slow mode on. I am trying to do that. If the moderators can probably do that, that would be great. Okay, we might have league lineups for Wolves versus West Brom. Just trying to anyone wondering about Pedro Neto. I think this is how the lineup could be: Patricio, Samedo, Cody, Boli, Sai starts, Dendonker, Neves, Moutinho, Adama, Silva, and Neto. So there's a chance that Neto plays. That's what information I have from a source. It's not from my source, so I can't say where how trusted it is. But this is what I've got. So there's a chance that Neto might start, and he might have passed the late fitness test. I think yes, Dawson will start. A lot of people messaged me on DM, will Dawson start or not? I've looked up into the West Ham forums, and I think he's safe enough to start after the Balbuena injury. Third best defender: Walker, Peters, Taylor, or Ben Johnson. I think Walker Peters is fine in my opinion. And over Ben Johnson, I would bring in someone like Mitchell. Keep Bowen or sell for -8. I would keep Bowen. Is Salah necessity? I think is a necessity for the double game week, not beyond, but necessary for the double game week. Edison or Allison, I would keep Edison. I have El Ghazi, Martinez. Should I play bench boost? It doesn't happen on your two players. I think if the other players are also playing at least one game week and have a decent fixture, yes. Marquez, I think we discussed about Gibbs that he's a great option to hold on at 4.3. Cheap defender from West Brom, and they can sneak up a clean sheet against West Ham, in my opinion. Will Ben Johnson start both games? I don't think he start either of the game as well. So if you're planning on to play your bench boost or 11 on Ben Johnson, you might want to change that. Bamford or Antonio, possibly both, in my opinion. If you can, bring in both. ZH or Grealish, I would play ZH in my opinion. There's a lot of upside there. Grealish, I know he has a good fixture against Newcastle, but he might not have a great fixture against City. Yes, trying to switch on the slow mode, guys. If somebody knows how to do that while we're on the stream, that would be great help. Kane replacement, I think Vardy is the easiest replacement. Chilwell or Stones, I would take Stones and I would stick to the two clean sheets, possible clean sheets there. I've already answered the Dawson. Dyer or Dallas, I feel the ceiling has for Dallas, but I think there's a chance for clean sheet for Dallas. I would do that. Start Neto or Adams. With the news I have, Neto. Salah or De Bruyne captain, go with the. I think go with the. I've put the top three captain picks. You can go there. I think those are safe enough captain picks. Okay, we have no update at the moment. Otherwise, from any team or any leak news, I'm trying, but nothing as of now. Cancelo could play both wings, yes, but I think Cancelo might also get benched one of the games. I just have those one of those feelings. There's no news about it, but slightly feel that Cancelo could bench. I also, on the other hand, he could have an explosive game because he. I saw the Crystal Palace highlights, which also decided like. This is where I decided where I captain De Bruyne, and there was a lot of space on both of the flanks behind Mitchell as well, behind Ward as well. So you know that City will do that cutback thing, and they will push Cancelo and probably Mendy if he's playing or Zinchenko, push way too up ahead. So I think Cancelo could get an assist or a goal this week against Crystal Palace if he starts. Stones for Dallas for minus it, I would do it. I don't think Stones will get rested. It's probably Diaz and Stones is most nailed on. Neville says -4 for Bamford to Antonio. To be honest, it's a 50-50 risk, but I think you should take it. If Antonio scores even one, yeah, the hit is covered up. If he doesn't score, it's irrespectively covered up because it's zero. So fair enough. I take the risk. All this only the slight problem that I have with that move is that Bamford is a very good hold for long term. So if you have a lot of value attached to it, I wouldn't do it. But 50-50, take the risk if you want to. Bamford over Wilson Watkins definitely. Kufal instead of Cresswell. No, if you can afford Cresswell, I would bring in Cresswell for sure. Discuss views on Foden in the start of the stream as well. Robertson or Salah, who is a must-have? I think over the next two fixtures they have in this game week, I think Robertson is more of a must-have because I see at least on clean sheet against Bright, at least Burnley. If not United, at least Burnley. I think they'll keep a clean sheet. Rashford for Son. I think Rashford is a very decent move. His record against both Fulham and Liverpool have been great. Yes, Neville Shah, thanks. I think you probably want to take the risk and get Antonio. Okay, live stream settings, live chat, enable slow mode says Webhub when I'm on it at the moment. We still have 30 minutes. We can, at till that time, we can actually go and complete my transfer. I'm going to bring in De Bruyne. I can take a -8, but I've thought about it and I think I'm going to avoid it. I don't really see a dire need of bringing any other player at the moment. Okay, we're trying to keep slow mode on. Just a second, guys. Yes, we are on it at the moment, and we still can't find it. I think we will have to adjust with. Okay, we've got enable solo mode. Okay, so yeah, we have enabled slow mode, and finally we are there. Okay, I can probably read your chats more easily now. I don't have Suchek. I won't be bringing him because I don't think it's worth the -8 hit. Because especially now that I've reached James fit enough, I think he'll play one game. Son or Bamford? Bamford in my Son in my opinion. If I had to play one, no, bench Bamford. I think this is how my 11 is going to look like. Nothing to change apart from Johnson. If he plays 2 games, fair enough. Otherwise, Adams will come in. Uh, is target worth keeping? Yes. Don't remove him for a hit, in my opinion. 3 leads and Kyle Walker-Peters. Should I bench boost? Yes, it's fair enough if you have a strong keeper as well. Should I play Konsa or bench him? Play him if you don't have a better defender. Best defender under 5.5, I think Stones is the best defender at the moment. High risk differential captain, in my opinion, is Rashford or Sterling. Bamford over Watkins definitely have bench boosted Meslier, Zuma, Watkins, and Lioski. It's a decent bench boost in my opinion, and good luck with it. Will James start both? I think he'll start one of the games, most likely the Leicester game, but I'm hoping start the Fulham game as well. Think of bringing Johnson and Hendrick for Button and Eleni. I think Johnson is a very good keeper option for the bench boost for the people who are going to bench boost. How many double game week to field minimum? 10 in my opinion. If you're bench boosting 10, otherwise somewhat 8 is good enough. Kick Sterling for Salah will have downgrade Marshall. If you don't have Kevin De Bruyne, don't do it. If you have Kevin De Bruyne, definitely do it. Who's your cap? I think my cap is going to be Kevin De Bruyne. McCarthy, Target, Rafinha, Bamford, good for bench boost. Yes. Werner and Antonio for DC and Adams, definitely do it. Bednarek or Alioski, I would go Bednarek in my opinion. Need one more forward, have 5.6 in the bank. I think Fabio Silva, because we have news that he's starting, I think it's pretty much you go with him. Kyle Walker Peter Neto because we have slight news that he might start. So I start Martinez or Johnston. I would rely on Martinez because I know that he can get a clean sheet against Newcastle. Gundogan will start. I think he'll start both the games. Son or Kane replacement. This will be for a -4. I think Kevin De Bruyne and Antonio are the best replacements. They perfectly fit into the budget. If you can go for someone like Werner and Kevin De Bruyne as well, if you have money in the bank. Cancelo should be playing one games, maybe both the games, mostly both the games, but at least one of the games. Antonio Grealish, Suchek in for Calvert-Lewin, Bowen and Barkley -8 hit. I think it's a fair enough hit and decent risk. I wouldn't go beyond -8 to be honest. Should I play Bamford for Wilson? 50-50 honestly. I would take the chance on Wilson because he has a higher baseline in my opinion. Pulisic or Mount? Pulisic. Should I triple captain Salah or De Bruyne? 50-50 I would go De Bruyne if I had to. Do you think Rashford could earn a lot in future? I think he can, but I think Bruno is a better asset than Rashford in my opinion long term. Mine said to bring in De Bruyne, Antonio, and Wilson. Maybe not Wilson, maybe Wood over Wilson, but yes. Uh, De Bruyne for Son for a -8, only for captaining him. Cresswell captain for differential, I wouldn't. I don't see more than one clean sheet. I think Burnley will score against West Ham. I have only 8 players playing double. Shall I take -8? No, I don't think. I have, what about 5, 9. Okay, I have 10 players playing double game week, but I've taken only a -4. It's fair enough in my opinion. Played Matt Target or Dallas. I think plays double game week guy. Uh, Need a 6.7 midfielder. In the 6.7 bracket, you can go to Mount, who's decent. Apart from that, you can look at Bowen. I think Bowen has a double game week who has higher potential. Uh, Maybe Suche can save the money and invest in somewhere else. That's also an option. Vardy a good captain option. Yes, decent, I think, but these captaincy options are better. Rashford for James Rodriguez, definitely do it, guys. Captain Rashford, Salah, Bruno, Suchek. Salah or Rashford, in my opinion, nothing else. Taylor to Cresswell, do it. Bring in Salah for Vardy. That's a tough one unless you're captaining him. But I think Salah for Vardy makes sense. Salah, Vardy, or Bruno Fernandes for captaincy. I would narrow it down to Vardy and Salah. Between Vardy and Salah, maybe Salah. I would be more inclined to Captain Salah. Have bench boosted Meslier, Zuma, Watkins. Yes. Goalkeeper options apart from Martinez. I think Johnson is a very good double game week keeper option, and Fabianski. Fabianski is fit, yes. Stones in for Dyer for a -4. Already have Diaz. I don't think it's a necessary move for a -4. I think you can stall the -4 and maybe use it somewhere else. Whether James will play in this week, I think he'll play one of the games, one of the two games, and hence I'm putting him in my 11. Forward options, I have 9.2 million. I think if you can afford zero point 0.1 or zero point 0.2 Werner is very good. Dawson should be starting the games. Neto is also rumored to be starting, and Target is fine. I mean, no news about him, but should be if he's fine, he'll start. Fabio Silva nailed in him as the returns. No, I don't think Fabio Silva is returned. With the return of Coulton, I think Coulton will start more or less in the future. Martinez or Mendy and why? I think Mendy has the better fixtures, and that is why I'm choosing Mendy. Martinez could be, City could thrash any team on any day and could result into a 0 pointer for him then. And I think Mendy is a decent option. Kevin De Bruyne will both play both matches. I think he will, in my opinion. And as soon as we put slow mode on, the watching has dropped drastically. Dallas minus 4 for Kufal. I would do that. Walker Peters or Ailing. Tough call. I would put my money on Ailing, in my opinion. Wood and Sun out for Kevin De Bruyne and Antonio. I don't think the Wood move is out, but yes, Sun to Kevin De Bruyne definitely. Leeds clean sheet possible? Yes, I mean anything's possible. Can't really say that. Hendrick or Saka? Saka. Bench boost, Leno Martinez, Robert Diaz, Stones, Dyer, Kofal, Kevin De Bruyne, Salah, Grealish, Suchek, Bamford, Vardy, Antonio. Definitely bench boost in my opinion. Shall I play Adams or Dallas? I would play the attacker Adams. 12 double game week players, 3 Leeds plus Saints players, bench boost, yes, in my opinion. ZH or Pulisic. I would play Pulisic only for the goal threat. Uh, Target over Dallas because I don't see Dallas keeping a clean sheet. Also, I see a possible clean sheet for Target against Newcastle. That's the reason Target over Dallas. Fabianski for Martinez, 50-50 call. I wouldn't replace a playing double game week keeper for another double game week keeper. Unless it's free, don't do it. El Ghazi or Traore or Gundogan. I would play Gundogan. I think Gundogan should have scored against Brighton as well. He hit the post once and he had a very good chance again in the game. So I would put my money on Gundogan. My bench is Konsa, Rafinha, Dallas, and non-playing keeper. If you can play bring in a playing keeper, bench boost is still viable. But apart, it depends on how many players in the 11 you have double game week. If it's fair enough, then I would actually bench boost. Can Southampton and Leeds have two game week? Yes, only if Shrewsbury have a lot of COVID cases. I have Kane and Son as my single game week players. Should I go with it? Maybe remove Kane for a double game week player. I think Son is fair enough. Edison, Kufa, Robertson, Stones, Suchek, Rashford, Kendebrana, Salavardi, Watkins, Antonio. Free hit recommendations. On free hit, I think you need to get the big guys and maybe which is Kendebrana, Salah, Rashford, Antonio, Bamford, in my opinion, over Watkins, and the rest is fine. There's no need to change anything. Diaz or Cancelo if I had to choose one. I would choose Diaz and play safe. Neto or Adams in the bench? Neto. Rookie, I think you should bench boost. Any news about Shrewsbury versus Southampton? No. Should I play Holding or Dallas? Play Holding in my opinion. I have Kane's son thinking of replacing both of them with Antonio and Salah. Definitely do it, sort of. Yes, I know target is on 4 yellow cards, but I think there is a chance that he will not take it. I mean, the yellow cards haven't been that frequent, so it's fair enough if you play him. Mitchell or Bamford? Bamford. Should I get David Day or Martinez? David Day, in my opinion. Should I get De Bruyne instead of Sterling? Depends on your captaincy, Nihil. If you are going to captain De Bruyne, then it's a fair move. Otherwise, there's no need to spend your transfer over there. Bamford to Antonio free transfer. Fair enough. I would not do that if there is an Adams or a Watkins in your team. Then do that Adams or Watkins to Antonio, and I would keep Bamford for the long term. Brendan to Stones for a -4. Yes. De Bruyne plus Foden for a Sun plus Mahrez. Definitely take out Mahrez in my opinion. Antonio and Kufar for DCL and Tierney with a -4. I would do that. Gundogan for Neto can't afford Candebrana. I would take my chance on Gundogan, honestly. I think Varun, if you can take a -4 already, if you're not on -8 or 12, you can probably bench boost. Uh, I'm not understanding why did I change captains, the question, or it's an allegation or something. Good 4.9 defenders for the double game week. Maybe Stones if you can afford something from that. If not, get in Kufal. Antonio or El Ghazi can take only one. Antonio. Views on bench boost, bench McCarthy, Brewster, Dallas, Adams. I think Brewster is the only problem, but if you're fine, you can go and ahead and play the bench boost. Goalkeeper pick this week between Meslier and McCarthy. I would actually go McCarthy. Barnes or Watkins, I have 6.1. Any other suggestions? Barnes or Watkins, in my opinion, Wood is the better suggestion. Yes, will set my captain. I think will pretty much keep my captain there. Don't worry, I'll set it in the. Okay, I'll set it around only. Bench boost Martinez, McCarthy, Mings, Konsa, Struge, Cresswell, Diaz, Ken De Bruyne, Fernandez, Son, Suchek, Foden, Bamford, Kane, Wilson. It does not feel very nice to bench boost without a Liverpool player at all. But fair enough, you can bench boost. It's not a bad week to bench boost. Should I take a minus hit to bring in Stones for Dyer or Dallas? I wouldn't want to take a minus hit or to bring in Stones for Dyer. Salah or Mane, if you had to bring in one, I would actually depend on the captaincy. If you want to captain Salah, then him. Otherwise, I would go Mane. If I had the liberty, if I'm in my situation, I'm going to captain De Bruyne. If I had the liberty to bring in either Salah or Mane this week, I would bring in Mane. Nothing this time. I think I'm going to stick with De Bruyne as my captain. Should I keep Sterling? I don't see a need to remove him, but fair enough if you keep him. Sterling, Salah, or Bruno for captain. I think Salah out of the three. Double game week forward on the 9.5 already have Adams and Bamford. Antonio or Werner, in my opinion. Already have taken -4. Should I offset it with bench boost? My bench is no. There's no need to offset it with the bench boost. Play your bench boost on the merit of your bench, not on the merit of your -4. Wilson for Antonio for -4. So confused. It's a tough call, honestly. If Antonio scores, then it's paid off. If he doesn't, I think holding on to Wilson is also fine. If you have someone like Suchek, Cresswell in your team, I think you don't need to do that. Is Taylor fit? Not for the first game, for the second game, yes. Bamford, Kyle Walker-Peters, and Regulon on the bench. I think it's a good option. If you have a second keeper, yes. Guys, I think it's in my opinion, it's very necessary to have a second keeper if you don't probably want to get in before you bench boost. I have seen it in a lot of cases that most of the points come through the second keeper at bench boost. I mean, you can get a second keeper and he could contribute about 10 points, and the overall bench has contributed about 25 points, and you know that the majority chunk has come through the second keeper. Yes, I'm Tottenham less. I don't want to own them for the next 3 weeks. Who to play from Saka, Bamford, Adams? I think Bamford and Adams. There's a likelihood that they get a double game week. So I mean, there's only a 10% chance, I think, but still take your chance with Bamford and Adams. Who should I keep for the double, Foden or Aubameyang? Foden. Which keeper is the best? And long term, I think long term it's still Martinez. I would keep him for the double and for the long term as well. Diaz or Cancelo for Tierney ahead of Kufal. I think if you can't afford De Bruyne, get Cancelo at least. Foden or Gundogan, I think Gundogan is the safe bet. If you want to go differential for the higher ceiling, go Foden. Hey Darpit, I have Martinez, James Diaz, Cresswell, Son Fernandez, Grealish, Suchek, Bamford. Thinking of using bench boost, taking out Son for Candidato and decent for Antonio. That's a decent team to bench boost in my opinion, and you can, if you have a strong bench, you can, which looks like you can bench boost. Castani, yes, I think he'll start. I think Justin will start as well. I think Liverpool players, if you are going on a bench boost, at least it's pretty much necessary to have Liverpool players. Rashford is a decent captaincy pick, not a triple captaincy pick, in my opinion. Salah and Rashford, it's a 50-50. Honestly, I would put my money on Salah because he has penalties. Will Foster play for Southampton? I don't think. I think McCarthy will start. Would Stones start both game? In my opinion, yes, but ultimately it depends on Pep. I have Suchek, Cresswell, and Fabianski. Do I replace one of them for Antonio or bench boost? I don't think you want to replace. You can probably bring in Wood and still bench boost. Guys, about 10 minutes left for the deadline, so you want to set in your teams and captains, and especially set your vice captains. It could be very handy this double game week. Best captain except Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno. I think it could be Werner, in my opinion, or Rashford. Maybe Vardy as well, but maybe Werner or Rashford. As far as I'm picking stats at the moment. McCarthy, Rafinha, Dallas Mitchell. It's a good bench to bench boost in my opinion. If you have about 9 to 10 players, double game week players in the 11. Views on Firmino can't afford Salah and Mane. I don't think Firmino will offer that attacking threat as Salah or Mane. So yeah, I mean it's your call. Just for the sake of it, if I had to bring in a Liverpool player, I would bring in a defender over Firmino. De Bruyne in for Salah for captaincy. Yes, I would do it. Is Wilson a good pick? It's a decent pick. I don't fancy Wilson a lot. Captain and vice captain pick from Kevin De Bruyne, Grealish, Mane, and Cancelo, Antonio. I would captain De Bruyne, vice captain Mane. Is Abraham a good pick? I don't see him starting any of the games. He'll come on as a sub probably. So, is up to you. Suchek, Mane, Davis for Watkins, Burke, and Son. I mean, it's fair enough if you're not playing Davis. I don't see him starting unless there's a lot of COVID recovery and injuries in the Aston Villa team. I don't see him starting. Remove Son and get in Rashford. Would be taking -8 for this transfer. It's a tough call. Honestly, I would not do that. For a -8, I wouldn't do that. I would play Son. What about ZH? ZH is a good option. I've discussed this multiple times. I think ZH and Pulisic are great differentials this week. Fabianski or Martinez, who to play? I would play Fabianski. Bruno as a captain's opinion, definitely don't captain Bruno in my opinion. Liverpool, I've heard a podcast where they talk about how Liverpool will be pressurizing and putting 50 putting situations and on Bruno Fernandes for 50 tackles uh, to get him a yellow card and get him out of the Fulham game, because that's how they have done it in the past and they will try it this game week as well. If and in case Bruno gets a yellow card, I think it's a very bad captaincy option. When you look at fixtures, Fulham is the fixture you want to captain him at. So I won't take the risk. Are you bench boosting? No, I'm not. Martinez is COVID positive. I have no news, so wouldn't trust anything apart from that. Bench boost or triple captain depends on your team. Justin or Regazi, who to play in the 11? That's a tough question. Honestly, I would play Justin because I'm sure that he'll be starting. With El Ghazi, we don't know if he's positive or not. Uh, Thanks, Kunal. Happy with the team. Hope to figure out triple figure this game week. Yes, I'm hoping to at least reach about 80 points without any chip. -8 for Sun to Sterling says Pulisic. I would take it for Pulisic. Bench boost worth it. McCarthy, Martinez, Dallas, Chilwell, Cresswell, Diaz, Cancelo, Salah, Bruno, Kevin De Bruyne, Suchek, Anguissa, Bamford, Antonio Wood. If you can get Anguissa to somehow to a Cavallero, definitely bench boost in my opinion. Otherwise, also it's a good team to bench boost. Pulisic or Foden, Pulisic, Alioski or Zaha bench. I would bench Alioski without a doubt. Robertson keep a sell for the future too. I would keep him for this week and I would sell him afterwards. I don't see him a long term asset, especially now that the City defense at 5 million or 5.5 million have been providing much more clean sheets. I don't see it's worth it. I can't see who'll start from the Villa team. Absolutely not. Take a -12 hit with the bench boost. Only three players have single game week. Fair enough. A -12 with bench boost and only three players having a single game week is fair enough in my opinion. Triple captain Kevin De Bruyne, Salah 50-50 call in my opinion. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne has the edge. Sterling or Mane to captain? I would captain Mane. Who to play, Adams or Dallas or Ailing? I would play Adams, Dallas and Ailing in that particular order. So that could be your bench order as well. Suchik in for Neto for a -4 hit. Yes, I think it's worth it. De Bruyne or Mane for captain now. Not sure if I had to. Obviously, we'll go De Bruyne, but if you want to go differential, go Mane. Views on Firmino, I said if you had to afford a Liverpool guy, I would bring in Robertson or Trent, wouldn't go Firmino. Will Cancelo outscore Bamford by 4 points this week? Cancelo should if he keeps a clean sheet. 5 minutes to go. Cancelo, Cameron or Salah for captain. I wouldn't captain Cancelo, I would just happily take the clean sheet and attacking returns. Kevin De Bruyne is the guy. Johnston and Antonio minus 12. If you're bench boosting, yes. If you're not, I wouldn't do that. Unnecessary. Punt on Christopher's forwards for future. I wouldn't. I would only punt at someone like a Mitchell or a Zaha. Who to play, Adams or Dallas? I think Adams. I've answered it. Vasant, you guys probably need to keep a close eye on the chat. Salah is a bad form. I think tempting me to go Vardy captain. If you're a Liverpool fan, it's probably the better option to go Vardy captaincy. Captain and vice captain picks De Bruyne, Rashford, Salah. I think De Bruyne and Rashford, captain and vice captain respectively. McCarthy, Dallas, Walker, Peters, and Bamford. Decent bench to bench boost this week. Provided that you have enough double gaming players in 11. Triple captain on Sterling is your call. Very risky as you saw it. That Sterling doesn't know how to finish even penalties. Totally up to you. Son or Wilson in the playing 11. I would put in Son. I think Son is still a better option than Wilson. Ederson, Kufal, Robertson, Stones, Suchek, Rashford, Candemona, Salavadi, Watkins, Antonio free hit recommendation. Remove Watkins, put in Wood. Apart from that, it's all fine. I have been getting calls at the moment. Okay, will Antonio play both games? I think he'll start both games, but he won't play 90 for both games. Who to play, Rafinha or Dallas? Rafinha for sure. Play Bamford or Sun? That's a tough call. I would play Sun in my opinion. I think Sun would still have a higher ceiling than him. Stu's, Loris, Walker Peters, and Redwell should I bench boost or triple captain? Triple captain in my opinion. Out of the two, I wouldn't bench boost there. Defender pick Dallas or Walker Peters. I would pick Walker Peters. Bench boost played last minute. All the best guys. 4 minutes left. Any last minute tips? Don't take a lot of hits and set your vice captain importantly and your bench order as well. And it is not the best. It is a good week to actually go four at the back. I think there will be a lot of clean sheets in the double game week. There has been no Aston Villa news out for me at least. I don't see the last time it happened as well, where Arctic Force actually said that some news is out and there was no news. Should I use bench boost? I've already answered it. Yes, maybe. Rodrigo or Dawson for a minus 8. I wouldn't get it for either of them. I'm trying to check if I have any other news about Aston Villa or Wolves or anything. Um, so I don't have at the moment. No news, no news. So yeah, I don't have any news. We're all set up. Bowen or Sun, in my opinion. Wilson or Dyer, Wilson. Rafinha or Dallas, Rafinha. Johnston, Bamford, Neto, Alioski bench boost. Decent bench to bench boost provided Neto starts. Vice captain Salah, Son, Antonio, Bruno. I would cap vice captain Salah. Who's the best change for Dominic Calvert-Lewin in 20? In 20, go Bamford in my opinion, or you can stick to someone like Antonio as well. What's your general average score in double game week? It goes up to 17. My usually it depends on number of chips played. Any news on Charlie Taylor? He'll be fit for the second game. Will be a doubt for the first one. Okay, guys, 2 minutes left. All the best. It's a big game week for everyone. Last minute captain change to Vardy from Salah. Wilson or Dyer, I would play Wilson. Grealish, Bruno, Salah, Suchek, Mendy, De Bruyne in for Salah. I wouldn't. Maybe De Bruyne in for Bruno and captain him. Anguissa to 6.8 bank. I would Anguissa to Cavaliero or someone like a Bowen. That could be good as well. Maybe Mount or Bowen, depending on a budget. Is it worth it to take -8 for Pulisic or for Sun? No, I won't take a -8. Maybe -4. It can actually, it could pay off if you see the Chelsea guys boys winning. You can take the hit. Villa games can't really predict anything. They could be cancelled, but I don't see them really getting cancelled. I think they should go on. Bamford over Wilson in the playing 11, 50-50 honestly. Wilson or Konsa? Wilson, bro, go for Salah captain. It's home. Yes. Thanks for the Antonio suggestion. If it does score, feeling confident with my bench boost team. Yes, thank you. Okay, last minute. I think we've set our teams. Captaincy on De Bruyne. My team is going to be Martinez, Kufal, Robertson, Diaz, Reece James, Grealish, Fernandes, De Bruyne captain, Salah vice captain, Bamford, and Michael Antonio. With my bench, I have Steer, Adams, Johnson, and Burke. I wouldn't be captaining Salah. I think I'll be sticking to De Bruyne for captaincy. Plan for watch along Chelsea Liverpool depends on the work. I have been having a lot of office work at the moment, so as soon as we get time, we'll be doing the watch alongs. I don't see Havertz as a differential. It was more cam. Ultimately, I don't see him as a differential. ZH Polish is still a good option. Even Werner, I won't bring in Havertz. 30 seconds out says Kriyan Barucha. Thanks, Ankur. Martinez, Zuma, Kufal, Diaz, Bruno, Sara, El Ghazi, Kevin De Bruyne. This is the team for the week. All the best, Kanishka. Martinez, Justin, Diaz, Kufal, Sara, Bardi, Bamford, Antonio. Thoughts? Looks like a great team. Okay, it is deadline and it is 4:30. All the best, guys, for double game week 19. Wilson or Konsa Wilson, and I think we can do match predictions. We posted match predictions uh, already on the channel, so you guys can check it out there on FPL tips underscore underscore. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, guys. Go hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so we will wrap up the stream here. Who to replace DCL for? Probably next week. We will look at the fixtures a bit. The deadline is done. It is probably not time to replace him anymore. I will just confirm it. And is the site opening? Okay, the site is still opening. Okay, no, it's not opening. Okay, so we are done with the stream. Hope you guys liked it. And till the next, I think watch. There might be a watch long, but let's see. Till then, this is FPL Tips signing off. Cheers.